My brother's fiancée said her ex-husband passed away, but I found him alive on Instagram. I, 24 female, don't even know where to start. For as long as I can remember, my brother, 35 male, has been the golden boy, and I have been the screw-up. I am obviously an accident. I had some difficulties in school, and by the time I came around, my parents were peaking in their careers and too busy for me. He was also too old to hang out with me, so I was kind of just there. About 2 years ago, Golden Boy introduced us to his girlfriend, Sarah, 32-ish, female. Not her real name. She is beautiful and tall and tragic. Exactly my brother's type. Sarah said she was previously married, but her husband in his 30s, male, suddenly passed away from a rare heart condition. Basically, he passed away at like 28 or 29. In the aftermath, she left her home state, went no contact with her family and old friends. My brother says they were harmful during of grief. She moved across the country and reinvented herself. This was about 4 years ago. Immediately, I did not like her. She seemed fake. It was just a vibe thing that I could not vocalize, but also did not really matter because my parents loved Sarah. Like the moment they met her, they started including her in family vacations and birthday dinners. And within a few months, my mom was saying things like, I think she's the one for your brother. Sarah has no social media. She has a super unusual last name. And over the past 2 years, I've Googled her from time to time. Some recent stuff comes up, mostly related to her job, but nothing from before her move. Nothing related to her husband comes up at all. Nothing. She is also cagey and weird about him. If you ask anything about what he was like or even his name, she gets teary and then Goldie jumps in. They got engaged a few months ago, so every conversation right now is about wedding planning. Sarah has very few friends, none from her past life, so I'm in the bridal party with some of their mutual friends. We went bridesmaid dress shopping a few weeks ago, and I went to Venmo her payment for my dress. And then I was like, I wonder how far back this goes. Pretty effing far. Most of the payments were between her and my brother, and a hairstylist and a nail artist. But I saw one Venmo from a guy that looked like it was for living expenses. When I Googled him, I found his Instagram, and on his Instagram, I found a wedding photo from 2017. In that wedding photo, he was the groom and Sarah was the bride. And that dude is still alive. Like, very alive. He posted 3 days ago. He's remarried with kids. I found her siblings, her old maiden name, and her whole old life once I found her ex's account. So I don't know what to do. Part of me is like, maybe the relationship ended badly, and that's why she goes around saying that he passed away. Part of me is like, maybe she's in witness protection, though she is screwed if she is, because I eventually found her. Part of me is like, do I need to tell my brother? Do I tell her? Like, pull her aside and be like, hey sis, what's up? I screenshotted everything, so I have proof. I just don't know if I should sit on it or tell someone. And we do have some comments here from OP. Low key, I want credit for figuring it out that she was lying, but it would definitely be messy. And there are some more thoughts here. What if she is a domestic mistreatment victim? He could have stalked her, so she ran and changed her name so he couldn't find her. What do you think you'd look like if your brother already knows this and you're outing a victim? Until you know for sure, you shouldn't assume anything. Your feelings for your brother and family are skewing your judgment, in my opinion. OP says, that's a good point. I don't like her, but I don't want her to get hurt or put in danger. Plot twist, your brother knows she's not a widow and he's complicit in the lie. God knows mom and dad would be a bit less welcoming of a divorced woman. OP says, I could actually see that. My parents are traditional. I haven't seen any notices or RIP posts from her friends, so I think she just cut them off. It defaults to all of the transactions being public with a description and who you sent money to. Other people can't see how much you sent. You can make everything private, but most people I know have their Venmos public. The Venmo was from like 5 years ago. On the relationship, it's cordial. It's not warm and fuzzy with them, and they're not warm and fuzzy with me. I'm just in the bridal party because it would embarrass my mom if I wasn't. Somebody suggested to look up divorces and criminal history in the court system. That's a good idea. I know what states she's from, so I'll see what's available there. And there's an update 4 days later. Thanks to everyone for their thoughts on my last post. Also, some of you guys are wild, and I love that for you. I felt really affirmed by a lot of the comments that 1, I shouldn't involve my parents at all, and 2, she might have a tragic reason for changing everything in her life or be a victim, so I shouldn't approach it like I'm happy to be stirring the pot. I ended up texting Golden Boy to ask if I could call him on Tuesday night. And when I called him, the freak put me on speaker because they were cooking, so I was like, F it. And I just told them everything about the Venmo, the husband's Instagram, etc. I framed it like, I'm nosy and I don't care, but wanted to say something in case Golden Boy didn't know, or you both don't want other people to find this. And Goldie was like, you're an idiot. Of course I know. Because their marriage certificate will say that she's been married before. For a moment, I thought we were going to get into a fight, but honestly, Sarah kind of diffused it, and the three of us ended up talking for a few hours about Sarah's background, why she lied, me and Golden Boy's parents, and our relationship. I won't go into everything we talked about, but basically, Sarah grew up religious. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to disparage people in religion, but she said that it's closer to a cult than a real faith. I don't know enough about it to comment. Around 5 or 6 years ago, she started having doubts and eventually left it. Unfortunately, in this religion, if you leave, everyone is supposed to avoid you. Amish? So her family and friends stopped talking to her, and the relationship with her husband got really tense. She said she was the only person who could talk to her, but the love was gone. She felt like the church was trying to torment her back into joining, and that made her be like, F it, we ball. Like, if everyone's going to act like I'm passed away, I might as well start a new life. So she moved away, started dating, divorced her husband, and picked a new last name. She said at first she told people her background, but knowing about her old faith made people judge her and ask a lot of questions she wasn't comfortable with. So eventually, she just started telling people she was a widow because it was easier and it was how she felt. When she first met my brother, that's what she told him. She told him the truth a few months into dating. Golden Boy says they decided together to keep her background from my family for reasons that make a lot of sense considering the type of people my parents are. Ultimately, I am glad I told them. For the first time, maybe ever, I feel like I'm part of something with my brother. It's weird, but kind of nice. One convo won't undo the past 24 years of our relationship, but I feel bad for underestimating him and writing her off. It's not his fault that he's 100,000 years old and that our parents kind of suck. We had a nice Christmas together, and I could tell they both were trying to engage me more than usual. Maybe because they have some respect for me. Maybe because they're scared. But either way, I feel a little seen by them, and I feel like I see them more. Thanks again. Make sure your Venmos are set to private, everybody. And that is the end of that story.